Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to do a quick video on some tips and tricks on how we get our 5-month-old to sleep through the night because we are very lucky and I'm aware of that. I had moms ask me what we do and I thought it'd be cool to make a quick video about what we started doing that really helped us get Paulie to sleep through the night. So let's just get started. Do you guys hear him? He is blowing raspberries. I will put him in his swing, like after he eats his afternoon, has his afternoon feeding, and he just sits in his swing and goes, like that's what he does for like an hour. Okay, first tip. Recognize if your baby is just too young to sleep through the night and too young to sleep train. Babies that are too young will not self-soothe. You can put them down and they will cry and cry and cry. Babies that are too young cannot sleep through the night because they wake up and they're hungry and they have to eat. So just recognize that your baby might just be too young to start this whole sleep training process. Paul started sleeping on his own through the night at the age of 4 months. But we did not start sleep training. So I was still rocking him to sleep and I had to make sure he fell asleep before I put him down. Otherwise he would cry and cry and cry. So that's the first thing, is just make sure that your baby is ready for sleep training. The second thing, monitor daytime naps. I used to let him sleep whenever, and at first you kind of do, right? Like newborns sleep like 18 hours a day, so at first you're kind of like, really bro, you were being quiet this whole time and I just turned the camera on and you're telling stories. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Yeah. What? Okay, I'm going to relocate. As I was saying, so monitor the day naps. I used to let him sleep till like 7:30 and then he'd wake up and then he would be up and I wouldn't be able to get him into bed until like 11 or even midnight, and I was like, oh my God, he's not sleeping. Once I started to not let him nap past 6, it changed everything. So, and I rarely have to like wake him up out of a nap. He kind of naps between like he'll fall asleep around 2, nap till like 4 or 5, and then he'll just be up. So I don't normally have to like wake him up at 6, but if your baby is sleeping like into the evening hours, you might want to kind of adjust your nap time. And once again, if your baby is old enough, if you have like a month-old, let them sleep whenever they want to sleep. This is if your baby is ready for sleep training. So that's something you definitely want to consult with your doctor. This is just what we did once our baby was ready for sleep training. I cannot emphasize this enough. And monitoring the naps kind of starts in the beginning, like early in the day. It's like with your first nap, because if your first nap is later and then your next nap, if you're doing like 2 to 3 naps, they kind of shift down. So, you know, monitor from the very first nap and then kind of, it'll all work out. It'll make sense. Number 3, this changed, I think really this was what made him sleep through the night, is we started just a sleep routine, like a nighttime routine. I didn't have one and I was kind of like, everybody talks about it, freaking out, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. All we did for the nighttime routine is we went on a walk, or we'd go on a walk, we come home, we take a bath, then I change him. Then we do like a mini playtime, just like I kind of like leave him on the bed and he's playing with his toys. I'm not like actively trying to get him like really excited. So we just kind of lay there and kind of chill out. It's usually the time my fiance and I are kind of laying on the bed with Paul, we're talking and he's, you know, doing his thing. After that, we'll do pajamas. And I feel like once I put him into pajamas, if he's kind of fussy, he'll like calm down. It's like now he knows, okay, I'm going into pajamas, I'm gonna get fed and then go to bed. So after he's in the pajamas, we do a feeding right away. And for this feeding, I hold him because now he's holding his own bottle, so I just kind of let him do that. But for this feeding, I hold him so that he feels, you know, secure and safe, and he's kind of like starting to drift off. And he will usually start drifting off while I'm feeding him, which is nice. And then before we started the sleep training process, I would rock him to sleep, and he would fall asleep pretty easily, and I would put him in the other room in his bassinet. So what we do now is I leave him, I go to his nursery and I put him in his nursery and I kind of leave him, but we'll touch on that while I go over the cry it out method. So the schedule, the routine, super important for babies, like get them on the right track, get their, you know, the when you like, your brain knows like daytime, nighttime, like you wake up with the sun, you go to bed when the sun goes down. What is that called? Pattern. I keep thinking parasympathetic nervous system. That is not right. Synthetic, like I'm thinking like, oh my God. Circadian rhythm. You want to get their circadian rhythm in place. So you want to help them with daytime, we wake up, nighttime, we go to sleep. Tip number 4, you want to make sure to turn off or dim your stimulants. So like I was saying earlier, we kind of have a little bit of a playtime with him after a bath, but it's not like we're playing with toys and like getting him to flip over. It's more like we're just chilling, kind of like, you know, having to cool down. So you don't want to do anything like to excite baby. You want to kind of turn off or dim your lights. You want to turn off or quiet the TV, maybe put on some music like, you know, lullabies, things like that. You want to turn off the stimulants. I remember when he was a little bit smaller, when he was about 4 months old, and we just would not be able to get him to sleep like right before he started sleeping through the night. But it was because we had all the lights on in the kitchen and the music was playing, or the TV was on, it was loud, or we were talking. And you know, they say don't purposely be quiet when baby's asleep or trying to sleep, but there are stimulants that can keep your baby from falling asleep. So we started dimming the lights when it's time for, you know, pajamas and formula. We dim the lights, I pause the TV, we turn on white noise, and then that really helps them to like calm down. It's, you know, you just want to make it like a relaxing environment for them. White noise is a big one. We have it on every single night. We have it on the Alexa, so it's on all night. I was watching Taking Care of Babies. If you're watching this video, you know Taking Care of Babies on Instagram, and she was showing how those sound machines that turn off in the middle of the night can actually wake up your baby. So we have the constant white noise all night in his nursery, really, really low. It's like on the Alexa, it's like volume 2 or 3, and it's just like constantly just shh. And I feel like that really helps keep him asleep. I think it helps us stay asleep too, like when we have it on in our room. So that's something definitely want to try. Huge thing for us is getting the gas out. He was very colicky when he was little. He always had a lot of gas. He does a little bit now, but once you're done your last feeding, make sure you get the gas out before you lay them down. Because a lot of times when they're screaming, when they're being laid down, a lot of times, for us at least, it's gas. So I feed him and I burp him, then when I take him upstairs and right before I put him down, I burp him again. And then I know we got everything out. And sometimes he'll throw up, and sometimes I have to change his pajamas, but that's just kind of comes with the territory of being a parent. The last thing I want to touch on is the cry it out method. This is the direction we decided to go. We're on day 5 of the cry it out method. It's going really well. I was pretty much dreading this whole process, but it's going really smooth. I think if you kind of prepare yourself, you do the research, you know what you're going into, and you're setting, you know, you have the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna do this. It might be hard, but I'm gonna go through with it. So the cry it out method basically means you put your baby down and you let them cry until they tire themselves out and fall asleep. Sometimes it could take 45 minutes to an hour, but baby will tire out, fall asleep, and more than likely sleep through the night if they're not needing to wake up to feed. So the first night we did cry it out, he fell asleep in 10 minutes. The second night was 6 minutes. The third night was 24 minutes. And then last night was 3 minutes. I put him down, and this is the other thing too. I know you've heard this, drowsy but not asleep. So I put him down, he was super drowsy. I think he had just like an exciting day because my girlfriend was over and we were like playing with him all day. He didn't nap, so I put him down and he was out like a light, and he slept from 7:10 to 7:30 in the morning. So a huge one. So I feel like cry it out works for us. It does not work for everybody. Some parents can't leave their baby to cry, and it does, like, I hate hearing him cry, but I know that this is helping him learn and develop, and you know, he hasn't cried for longer than about a half an hour. So I feel really confident that this is working for us. I think if he was crying for like 40 minutes, I would go up there and kind of soothe him. And that's another method. You can also leave baby if they cry, then 10 minutes later go in and soothe them, then leave, then make it 20 minutes, then go back in 20 minutes, and you do like a longer period of time in between soothing them, and then eventually they fall asleep, and then you cut that time every night. Those are my tips for helping your baby sleep through the night and helping your baby fall asleep. I just, like I said, just make sure your baby is old enough, because a lot of times your baby's not sleeping through the night because they need feedings. It also helps once you're starting on solids. We started solids at 4 months, now we're doing cereal at night. So that food is also satiating and helps their tummies. Just make sure your baby had enough to eat at night. That way they'll be full through the night, and you'll also be full through the night. You will be happy through the night. I don't know what's happening. This is me when I like start to get sleep again. That's awesome. But those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Super quick, super easy. I hope you're enjoying your little one. And good luck to you. It's hard, but if you just prepare yourself mentally, you will be just fine. Perfect timing. All right, I have a package, and now my baby's screaming, so I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.